Good morning, everyone. All right, before I say anything else, Cara Bastone is coming at 10:30, which means if you're watching the replay, you need to come back to 1 hour from now. It'll be at the hour mark. I'm going to have chapters at the bottom of this page so that you can easily navigate directly to Cara Bastone's interview. But we're going to have so much fun in the first hour of this show, doing some of my favorite things, hanging out with my friends, and we'll do a little reading sprint as well. There's a lot to get to this morning, and it's all good. So I am ready. I'm so excited. I'm nervous. I'm going to be honest. I have not been this nervous since probably the first time I did a live. I'm just so excited to meet Cara Bastone. She's one of my favorite authors of all time. And I've been getting messages from you guys just talking about how excited you are too. I'm so thrilled that she was willing to come on, and I'm so incredibly grateful. And yeah, I mean, we're going to have a great morning. This is going to be an amazing live. Thanks to you guys joining. So yeah, be thinking about things you want to ask her. She said it's all up for grabs today. So it's going to be fantastic. Let's say hey. Oh, by the way, you'll notice my background. I'm going to take myself out for 1 second so you can take a good look. The New York City skyline. I thought that would be beautiful. I also have another background for Cara Bastone too, because all of her books are set in New York City, if you weren't aware. So if you enjoy city romance, this is definitely the episode for you. So I'm just so thrilled to see everybody today. Let's talk to some people. Who's here? Melody. Oh my gosh, Melody, look at your profile pic. I'm so excited to start Promise Me Sunshine. I have the audiobook downloaded and ready to go. Oh, you're going to have such an epic time. Good morning, Angie. Good morning, Paige. Hello, Dee. Good afternoon. I'm looking at your gorgeous scenery right now. I love it so much. Hey, Sock. Good morning. Good afternoon, Vi. I'm getting better at remembering where everybody is. Good morning, Molly. Tara, good morning. You are on it's your work day today, right? Because of Mardi Gras. Happy Mardi Gras, Tara. Where she's from, they actually get 2 days off for the holiday, which is so exciting. I'm so glad you're joining us today. Oh my gosh. Good morning. Oh my gosh, look at your cute profile pic. Oh, I can't. Oh my gosh, I love it so much, Kitty. Zero. Good morning, Shannon. Hey, Abby Jean. Good morning, Megan. Good morning, Melody. Yes, I love that. I really like that profile pic. Good morning, Cassandra. Spilling the drills, Sarah. Ooh, I love that name. This is exciting. This is so incredibly exciting. Good morning, Wyoming. And Silly, our unofficial mascot. How exciting. Silly says, smile with your beautiful teeth. But I don't have that gorgeous underbite that Silly has. That's what I need. Silly says, if you know, you know. Right, right. Hello, Ejatu. Good afternoon. And Elizabeth H., good morning. I'm so excited to hear Cara Bastone this morning. I read an arc of Promise Me Sunshine a couple weeks ago, and it was a 5-star for me. It was a 5-star for me as well. I finished it last night. I stayed up late last night finishing it. Oh, just epic like all her stuff. Good morning, Madeline. Oh yes, I'm so excited that you were able to catch us live. This is going to be such an incredible live show. Yeah, barkity bark bark. Says Sock to Silly. Silly will know what that means, right? Right. Again, these are our inside jokes already, right, from our mornings. Good morning, Terry. Oh, I'm so glad you're joining us today. So I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Right now we're in midst of the week. Obviously, it's Tuesday, March 4th, Mardi Gras. As you're aware, we've got some things going on. I want to make sure that I tell you about something that I just discovered thanks to an email newsletter that I'm part of for the fabulous Eliana Pierce. She was on Tara's and my reading sprints the other day, and I'm in her newsletter. Well, you guys know what I mean. I get her newsletter, and she sent something that, if you're like me, you're very, very excited about. I'm going to share the screen real quick. Check this out. Today only, it's Alpha Roll Day. And it says, find your next cinnamon roll book boyfriend here, March 4th, 2025, one day only. You then get to click on closed door romance or open door romance. And it's all, I'll just click on closed door just for ease of use. But you can go on here. Everything is free. Look at all the different options: Amazon, Apple, Nook, Kobo, Google Play, direct from author, additional retailers. If you click on these, you get this for free on your e-reader today only. Because I just now found out about this, I wasn't able to make one of my fun slides. I don't have it linked in my description box yet, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to link this in the chat, and then I'll make sure the first thing I do when we break for sprints, I'm going to add it to my, I know, cinnamon rolls, right, Vi? Everybody's favorite. It's so perfect because nobody writes a cinnamon roll hero like Cara Bastone. It's just perfection. I've been packing my Kindle for the last hour. Oh, you knew, Shannon? Oh, awesome. I'm going to be packing my Kindle later. I cannot wait. Here is the link. But yes, as I said, I'm sorry, I interrupted myself. As the sprints begin, I'll be putting this in the description box. So if you want to spend your sprint packing that e-reader, you can do that. It's also, as I mentioned, I just linked it in the chat. So let's have some fun this morning. Let's get some free books about some cinnamon roll heroes. Yes. So I am ready. Oh, Silly's barking. She's excited. I didn't know Silly liked cinnamon roll heroes, but you know what? Silly's got excellent taste. Okay, so you know what else we need to talk about today? Other new releases. I've got a slew. And my focus obviously to let me close this out for a moment. I mean, those guys are hunky and we could look at them all day, but it might be a smidge distracting for me. Lots of new releases. So many, in fact, that what I may do after we get some gorgeous pop-ins by some wonderful authors who really did a fabulous job this morning. You'll see them in just a minute. I'm going to ask for like a show of hands for who wants to see the others, because my main focus today, well, we've got to celebrate Amber's birthday. I don't want to forget that before we move into sprints, but I want to make sure that we really reserve all the time for Cara Bastone. So, and also have a little time for sprints so I can breathe into a paper bag or whatever I need to do to get myself ready to talk to her. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. So yes, I know, right? Oh, I love it, Sock. Let's crash this website, the Cinnamon Roll Heroes, right? Tara, we love ooey gooey cinnamon rolls. Yes, we do. Perfectly stated, Tara. Perfectly stated. But let's get into some other releases that are coming out today. We've got Say Cheese, which is out today. Nope, that's not true at all. Today's the 4th, as I mentioned before. Who caught that already before I even said it? It was out yesterday. But I want you to hear from Sheri Tyler. You're going to love this video. She did an incredible job.
Hey everyone, I'm Sheri Tyler, and I want to give a huge thanks to B for inviting me to be here today. I just released Say Cheese. It's my latest small town romance with a touch of world travel. It's part of my Destination Wedding trilogy, where love sparks in unexpected places, and in all three, it sparks at a destination wedding. Last month, One Cup of Chemistry kicked it off. That one is about two overworked scientists who have to figure out how to make time for love. And next month is Kebabs and Kisses, which is a age gap romance that features a neurosurgeon trust fund doctor and a scuba diving civil engineer woman. But we're here to talk about Say Cheese. This one is an opposites attract romance that features a stuntman who doesn't want to settle down and a librarian who really likes to have her life planned out. And she's also a brand new romance author. I mean, nothing says love like jumping off buildings and properly categorizing books, right? We all love books. I've always loved stories that mix humor, heart, and romance. And nothing says romance like a little world travel and excitement. That's why this series has been such a joy to create for me. I started by creating the characters and then matched them up in ways that seemed interesting to me. That's why I have the age gap, the opposites attract, and the career-driven scientists. And I'd love to hear from you. If you've read One Cup of Chemistry, please let me know and tell me what your favorite part was. And if you're about to dive into Say Cheese, I think you're in for a really fun ride. Let me know what you like about it. Thanks again to Bea for inviting me, and happy reading.
I just love it. I just love it. How cool. I love what Madeline just said. This sounds so fun. It does. It really does. And stuntman, I'm into it. Totally, Abby Jean. I've never read one with a stuntman before. I think it's time. I think it's time, right? Now, I've got another really great one I want to talk to you about. This is actually a double feature, if you will. Well, it's a double feature in the book world because both of these are coming out today. And again, I was so lucky to get to hear straight from the author herself. So let's learn a little bit about this. I really love her. She's fun.
Hi, I'm Christina, and I wrote this book. And this one. Oh, but hold on a sec. I also wrote these. But tomorrow, March 4th, I'm so excited to share that both Page Turner and the second book in the series, Page Turner Goes Yellowstone, will be available on Kindle Unlimited. The first book follows Paige and Rhodes and Paige's wonderful cat Cleo, who also has her own point of view, might I add, and their journey to coming to terms with how they feel about one another. Rhodes has been hiding his feelings for his best friend for a very long time. Paige has been a little bit unaware of her own feelings. That is, until they both decide to participate in a blind dating experiment. However, Paige does not know that one of the three guys is her best friend, Rhodes. I apologize in advance because yes, this book ends on a cliffhanger, but that is actually why I decided to release book 2 on the exact same day because I didn't want you to have to wait. This book is a continuation of their journey. Yes, we also get more Cleo chapters, I promise. Paige decides to make a change and go out on her own for a little bit. Her and Cleo go on a road trip to Yellowstone. So while she is trying to figure out exactly what she wants, he's at home also trying to figure out the same thing. If you love the show Love is Blind with texting instead of pods, then pick up Page Turner. And then immediately after, you can read about her road trip to Yellowstone. These books are both under 300 pages. They make for a really fast read, hence Page Turner. And they're super fun, lighthearted. It is a slow burn, beware. And as I mentioned, book 1 does end on a cliffhanger, so you're gonna want to pick up book 2. I hope that you'll give them a read, and if you do, please don't forget to leave a review on Goodreads and Amazon. Thanks again.
Oh my gosh, is that not so fun? I love it. I love it. And yes, let's take a quick peek. Yes, it is indeed. Madeline goes, is that a cat being walked on a leash? I love it. It is indeed a cat being walked on a leash. I'm so excited. And how wonderful that the author chose to release both books on the same day so we didn't have to deal with a cliffhanger. That's an author who cares. Right? Right? I tell you. It sounds so cute. I know. I know. I'm so excited about it. And okay, so I'm going to remove this because I have a bunch of other books, but again, I'm going to have you guys vote on what all you want to hear because there's a lot coming out today and I'm trying to be good on time. So, the other one that I want to talk to you about is by an author named Katie Delahanty, and it comes out tomorrow. But I think you're really, really going to like this. And I'm so thrilled that she was available to talk about it. So let's listen right now.
Hi, my name is Katie Delahanty, and I am the author of the forthcoming book, Waiting for a Girl Like You. This is the story of an undercover bridesmaid who takes a last-minute assignment in Positano, Italy, and discovers that the groom is her first love. And really, it's a love story between Gwen and the yacht rock obsessed wedding singer. Somebody online called it Wedding Singer Meets 27 Dresses, and I kind of love that. And it's also the story of what happens when you take a leap of faith and do something that scares you, because you know that if you don't do it, you'll always wonder what if, and kind of the magic and serendipity that happens when you like step into your power and are brave and follow your dreams. It's the first book in a series. It's called the Make It Come True series, and all the books will stand alone, have interconnected characters, and they'll all have yacht rock titles. I got the idea for Waiting for a Girl Like You back when I was working on one of my previous books called Keystone, and I just did a Google search for weirdest jobs ever, and Bridesmaids for Hire came up, and I was like, what, that's a thing? And so I felt like I had to put that in a book at some point. And it was also kind of during COVID that my husband and I, in a desperate attempt to escape our children for a few hours on Friday nights, they're all really little, and we would, kind of set up a movie night for them while we escaped to the backyard and lit the fire pit, and we would listen to yacht rock. And we did a really deep dive into yacht rock during COVID, and just, are big fans. And in fact, every Friday night, Alexa has a ritual where she, says, it's time to sail into the weekend. And then she starts playing Lovely Day by Bill Withers. And that kind of kicks off her Friday nights still. So it's definitely a love letter to music, which is so important to me. And actually, the playlist is available on my website. There's a link to Spotify and to Apple Music and a bunch of different links to the playlist, so you could listen to the playlist along with the book. And it's going to be available on Amazon. It's in Kindle Unlimited. It's paperback, it's ebook, and signed copies are also available for purchase direct from my website. And I have merch. I have Make It Come True necklaces. I don't know if you can see that, or Starry Night necklaces, which if you read the book, that'll make sense. All available on my website, and I'm sure we can link all of that below. Otherwise, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm Katie Delahanty, just like that. I also have an Instagram called book.glitter that I'm terrible at updating, but maybe I'll get better at it. I'm on Facebook as Katie Delahanty author, and you can go to my website and, see all of that exciting stuff. So thank you for listening. And happy reading, everyone.
Isn't she adorable? I'm so excited. And now I need to read I need to listen to Yacht Rock. I think this Friday when we do our live show, I think we have a birthday celebration too on Friday. Let's do it to Yacht Rock, unless that person has objections. Sock goes, I love Yacht Rock so hard. It's hard to say 3 times fast, I'm sure. And also, I did not want to miss Paige's great comment here. Paige goes, I have to get those for the character's name alone. Yes, you do, Paige. How perfect. How perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to do something I don't normally do. Asking for a friend, what is yacht rock? Okay, I'm going to attempt to explain yacht rock in... Let me go to her book while at least I talk about this. Now you're seeing all the millions of books. Yacht rock, to my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is music that's meant to be just relaxed to. I feel like it's often like 70s and 80s, maybe even 90s music that's just very relaxing and just makes you think of, as she mentioned, Bill Withers' Lovely Day. If I think I need to look into a playlist or something and link it in the description box. I think I do. I think I'm going to do that today as well. And all of Katie Delahanty, I think is how she pronounced her name. Everything of hers is linked in the description box. So yeah, I love those necklaces too. I love that. The Make It Come True. I might need to get that. I love that. But yeah, so I think that's yacht rock. The 70s, 80s, 90s, relaxing music that just makes you feel good. I'm that friend. Vi's like, what is asking for a friend? And Vi is that friend. I love it. I know. Oh my gosh, Terry, I love it. I picture it as songs you would play as you're boarding a cruise ship. Yes, absolutely. Soft rock, kind of. There you go, Sock. Michael McDonald, Christopher Cross, most of the Eagles. Oh, yes. Fleetwood Mac. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, if I wouldn't get smacked with a copyright infringement immediately, I would start playing that now. It's so good. We're gonna have to find some yacht rock that I can play legally on here. Won't that be fun? Maybe I could well, I can't do it today during sprints, but let's do it on Friday. Let's do it on Friday during sprints. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Oh, this is gonna be so fun. We'll be sailing into the weekend just like Katie Delahanty. Terry, no, thank you for asking. That's great. That's great. Okay, so I think we've all figured out what yacht rock is at this point. So there we are. Okay, we're wiser and we're ready for some extra fun via music. All right, now it's 9:52 as I'm filming this. I want to stop by 10:10 to give us 20 minutes to sort of gather ourselves, me, before we get Cara Bastone on here. So, what is this? Yachtly Crew is a fantastic yacht rock band. Yachtly Crew, stop it, Shannon. I love it. We're gonna have to look that up. Okay, so what do we have? Like 17 minutes. I want to go over the new releases for today. And we want to celebrate Amber's birthday. And then we're going to do 20 minutes of me blowing into a paper or breathing into a paper bag before Cara Bastone comes on. Okay, so let's talk about these. I'm going to just very quickly, so I don't make you seasick with all my slides here. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to show you first what's up. Then I'm going to come back and you're going to tell me if I get like 3 yeses, I'll read the synopsis. Okay. Just to give you more info. Everything, by the way, is linked in my description box. So do not worry if you're like, I want to know more, but I don't know where to find it. Just click on the link. It'll take you right to the summary. So The Shots You Take is out today by Rachel Reed. I love this author so very much. Right now. I have a reason why I'm looking down. I am looking for this. Yes. Oh my heavens. This is one of my favorite books, especially hockey romance. Oh my heavens, so amazing. So I requested the arc for The Shots You Take. It's another hockey romance. It looks emotional and just fun and good. It is out today. I said I have the arc. Have I started it? No, I'm starting today. Oopsie. This is what happens when you request too many arcs. Learn from me. I'm a cautionary tale. Oh, Kristen, good morning. Good morning. We just talked about Page Turner with Christina Hill, the fabulous author. We also have A Constant Love out today by Tracy Peterson. Look at that cover. It looks epic, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, I'm so in love. We also have Night Weaver out today. This looks like a fantasy romance. I'm in love with this cover as well. And notice that it has sprayed edges. I made sure anytime I saw sprayed edges, I tried to include it because we do love some good sprayed edges, don't we? Kristen, I need to bother you cool kids about getting arcs. Oh, Kristen, I could tell you all about it. Angie's excited too. I know. Angie, I bet you're most excited about Rachel Reed's new book, right? We've also got Welcome to the Honey B&B by Melody Carlson out today. The Love Simulation by Etta Easton, which came out today. This is one that I really wanted the arc for, but I was denied. And you know why? Berkeley. Still haven't gotten my lightning sound effect. I need to do that. Oh, well, what can you do? Oh my gosh, Sock, look at you linking things. Nightweaver, Sock just said Dreamweaver by Gary Wright is yacht rock. Look at you linking everything. Wow, it's all coming together, isn't it? Thanks to Sock. Dun, dun, dun. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, you guys. Okay, so let's see. The Love Simulation about astronauts. Definitely want to read that at some point. Susanna Kearsley, The King's Messenger, came out today. That, speaking of arcs, the audio just popped up on NetGalley for anybody that likes that. We also have Scott and Bothered. Look how cute this looks, by Alexandra Kiley, out today, as well as Rebecca Thorne's TU at the Altar. I know, Berkeley. Yeah. Ooh, Kristen, thank you. That's what I need. Thunder and lightning. There we go. Perfect. We also have Wild Side by Elsie Silver, which comes out today. And okay, I'm really excited about this. who I was gonna say raise your hand. Again, I can't see you. You're welcome to put a hand emoji up if you want, or you don't have to, just listen. So, if you're familiar with Only Murders in the Building, that really popular series featuring Martin Short, Steve Martin, Selena Gomez, this crew of sweet, clean authors who I adore have gotten together and they've created, I wanna say it's 8 books, but there's one coming out every single week, and it's called Only Magic in the Building as opposed to Only Murders in the Building. I wanted to show, I'm going to ask Savannah Scott first, or maybe I'll link it. There's some great graphics that features the whole building and each of the books, like with the different characters. And I want to show it, but I want to make sure I get permission first rather than just be like, I'll just go on this person's site without their permission and go through it. But it looks so darling. It's going to be epic. It's going to be epic. I'm so excited about this 8-book series by 8 different fabulous, sweet, clean authors. I think it's 8. Don't quote me for sure, but I want to say 8. And the first one comes out today. And this is The Serendipity by Emma St. Clair. So, oh, I just can't wait. And next week there will be another one. So one every single week. It's going to be so fun. And I think that's the end because yeah, we have the one we just discussed. So now let's talk about, we've got like, I don't know, 10 minutes. What do we want to hear more about? All right. This is where I need like active participation for a moment. Help me, people, help me. Who wants to hear about the shots you take? If I get 3 yeses in, I don't know, 10 seconds, I'll read it. Otherwise, we'll just move to the next one. I'm seeing a lot of Scott and Bothered. I should have asked that initially. Oh, and Serendipity. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of the Scotland and Highlands. Okay. You know what? Actually, this is a great idea. Why don't we just, anything you saw that you want to know more about, just tell me in the comments, and then we'll just get to as many as we can. Okay, I think that's a better choice. Okay, shots you take. Me. All right, let's do it. Because I know Angie was saying too that she's really excited about that one. And quite frankly, I'm starting it today. So I would like to remember what the plot is because it's one of those that I requested quite some time ago. So, okay, me, I do. Yes. Okay, great. Great. Okay, we're going to do the Scotlands and Highlands in just a second. So we'll do shots you take. This is such an odd way to do this, but you know what? Hopefully it works. A sweet and sexy hockey romance about 2 ex-teammates and former best friends with benefits who are about to discover whether you can really have a second chance. After moving back to his hometown 10 years ago, Riley Tuck thought he had left his major league hockey career and his broken heart far behind. But when an unexpected tragedy strikes, it brings ex-teammate and former best friend with benefits, Adam Shepard, back into his life. Coming to the small town of Avery River, Nova Scotia, might have been a mistake. Adam's not sure he'll ever win back Riley's trust after the way they left things, and the attention he's getting as a huge hockey star isn't exactly helping. Yet the chemistry that crackles between them is undeniable even now. As Adam helps Riley navigate his grief, long-buried feelings start to resurface, but they'll have to square off with their complicated past if they're going to have a real shot at a new beginning. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Currently reading Reckless by Elsie Silver. Oh, but you have to work today. Oh, I'm sorry, Molly. Yeah. Oh, so you saw that other one by Elsie Silver coming out. I know. D, you make me feel better. You make me feel better. Because don't we all, right? We all need the more coffee. Yeah. Did you see Sock's comment? Have you seen how the Scottish spell? Maybe you did. You never know. All right. So I did promise we're going to pop that one on next. Let's talk about it. Alexandra Kiley's Scott and Bothered. Oh, okay. Here we are. All righty. Let's learn about this one. I'm really excited. Scott on the Trail. Brooke Sinclair's dream of being a published author derailed when she was expelled from the University of Edinburgh 7 years ago. Now a ghostwriter, she sticks to other people's stories. But when her college mentor, Mahari McAllister, needs a co-writer for her memoir about Scotland's most challenging trek, Brooke would do anything for the opportunity, including agreeing to hike the rugged Sky Trail for authenticity's sake, not knowing the nature photographer who will join her is Jack Sutherland, the man who shattered Brooke's writing career and her heart. Between getting sacked from the university and walking away from his family's tour guiding business to follow his photography dreams, Jack is desperate to prove he didn't disappoint his family for nothing. And he can't ignore his Aunt Mahari's final wishes for her memoir, even if it means acting as a guide and storyteller for the one who got away, even if it means keeping secrets about Mahari's health. As Jack and Brooke head into the solitude of the sweeping Scottish landscape, they're forced to confront old feelings that haven't disappeared with time. But can 2 weeks and 80 miles heal years of unspoken hurt and offer a second chance at the end of the trail? Ooh, that sounds really good. That sounds super good. I know. I like it too, Kristen. A trek in the Isle of Skye. Yes, I know. I think we're all ready. Second Chance Tuesday, I'm guessing, right? Is that what it is? Suck. Ooh, one of those bulls is on the loose in Connecticut. They've been trying to retrieve it for weeks now. Are you serious? Are you really serious, Suck? Okay, let's see. We've got a couple more minutes. We could do one or two more. What are we thinking? What were we excited about? I want to say someone mentioned Elsie Silver, right? Let's talk about Wildside because I think Molly said she's reading in Elsie Silver right now. So let's do that. I feel like on Murder She Wrote, do you remember the beginning of the intro when she's typing? Like typing on my show, typing on my show. All right, Wildside, the deluxe edition. This is book 3 of Rose Hill, which comes out today. This deluxe edition comes with a mountain spine design that lines up with the rest of the series. One of those. So they all line up and look gorgeous on your shelves. She's always dreamed of her wedding day, and those dreams never included saying I do to a man she hates. But when Tabitha's nephew's guardianship is contested, she decides she'll do whatever it takes to keep him in Rose Hill, even if it means marrying the enemy, Reese Dupree, a man who is secretive, broody, and completely infuriating. A man whose work takes him away for weeks on end and brings him back covered in mysterious bruises, ones he won't talk about. In fact, Tabitha and Reese barely talk at all, which would be fine, except when he's not talking, he's staring. And the way he looks at her is borderline indecent. And the tension between them has always been palpable, but living under the same roof is a dangerous temptation. Tabitha swore she would never forgive him, but that was before she knew the man behind the mask, the one who's fierce and protective, the one who's gentle and patient, the one who shows up for her and her nephew when they need him most. He's not at all who she thought he was, and that makes hating her husband so much harder and loving him just a little too easy. Yes, please. I think so. I think yeah, Molly's like, ooh. I love it. Okay. Oh, the astronaut. Yes. Let's find out what Berkeley was unwilling to give me. We'll wrap up with that. Over in the Kent area, Western Connecticut by the New York state line, you are absolutely, there's really a cow running around or a Highlander or whatever you call that thing. Well, there was a guy that walked 500 miles and he would walk 500 more to be the man. So this dude can walk 80. You're talking about Scott and Bothered. I love it so much. 500 times. Elizabeth H. I just got back from Target with Wildside, so I'm going to be getting it during sprints. Oh, okay, girl. Can we all just live like Elizabeth? I love that. Man, that sounds amazing. Going to Target. Did you get a coffee from Target? Do they have that in your Target? I have to know. And if you did, I also have to know what it was, because right now I'm living vicariously through you. So please tell us. Inquiring minds need to know. Oh, you're starting to read it now, Angie? Okay, I guess it's time for sprints. People are just going to start reading. Okay, that's great. Highland Bull, his name is Waldo. Stop it, Sock. Are you serious? Is this an actual Where's Waldo situation? Did they name him Waldo? I mean, that's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you're naming him Waldo and then he goes then he goes lost. A real case of Finding Wallow. I know. That's what I was thinking. I know. Okay. We are going to celebrate Amber's birthday. Now, I reached out to Amber to see what kind of music she liked. She didn't have a chance to get back to me. But I thought, let's try something new we haven't done yet in a while. No, yet. We haven't done it yet. Um, like a swing big band kind of jazzy thing. I got some fun stuff because I was like, well, maybe Amber will like that. Hopefully she will. So we'll do that for a minute and then we'll hop into sprints. Of course, I've got my silly, not silly as in Wyoming's dog, but the March holiday themed leprechaun St. Patrick's Day type things that we can vote on and see who wins. So there we are. I know. OMG, where's Waldo? Exactly. She's not kidding this time. Kristen, does he have a striped hat? Please. He needs a striped hat. Someone find him just to put the hat on him, but then let him keep going. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, Elizabeth, this is an important update about her trip to Target. Of course, I got a coffee. My favorite is the hazelnut shaken espresso. Hashtag goals. Hashtag life goals. Yes, Elizabeth. Yes, thank you. Happy birthday, Amber. All right, all right. I think we're ready. I think everybody is telling me, please stop talking, B. We would like to read and also dance. Did everybody get a good stretch in? Did we do it? Did we get a good stretch? Because it's time to celebrate Amber's birthday. We're going to do 20 minutes of sprints, and then we're going to come back with Cara Bastone. My palms are sweating. I'm excited. Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready? Let's do it. You guys have been ready. You were born ready. I'm also going to add that cinnamon roll hero link to the description box. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Let's celebrate Amber. Everybody get ready. We're working out. We're working out. Here we go. Woo! Okay. Short and sweet. I hope everybody got a little cardio in. That was your workout for the day, by the way. Unless you were like Elizabeth and you went to Target. We count that as her cardio. Okay. All right. We are about to start a leprechaun race. Everybody's favorite. Oh, we're still getting some nice birthday wishes. Yay. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. You guys are so wonderful. All right. So let's, I know what I have to do. I have to remove that. And I'm going to, someday, guys. Again, not today. Gonna be really good at this. You wait. All right, here we go. We're sharing the screen. No, not that. It's like I've never done this before. Gotta get my act together in 20 minutes. Gonna impress Cara Bastone. No, I'm not. Okay. What is wrong with me? It's saying stop screen. Okay, that's why. It still was thinking that we were promoting the book boyfriend thing. Okay, moving along. Share screen. Good night, guys. Help me. I'm like D. I need my coffee. I need my coffee. Okay. Are we there? Did I thank heavens? We're going to pretend the last 30 seconds didn't happen. Okay. Everybody just pick a leprechaun. Just pick a leprechaun. I'm going with, they're all so gorgeous. It's hard to choose. I just, you know what? I like stars. I'm going to go with 4 because he's got a star in his hat. I really don't know. Okay, here we are. And 20 minutes. Let's do this. I'm seeing a lot of 3s. All right, we're going to see who wins. I can't wait. And I'm going to mute myself because let's just do this. Congratulations to all of you who chose Leprechaun 1. Well done. We had a lot of people that won this morning. I hope you feel a sense of success. I love what Wyoming said. Silly said, look at the teeth on number 4. Again, look at these poor other leprechauns that lost. I feel so badly for them. Kay Simmons joined us. Good morning, Kay. I love her so much. Pause to hydrate, snack. Tell us what it was, because we nosy. Check laundry, take meds, stretch. Show some love to the like button. Make sure you sub and ring that bell so you hopefully get notified. You're so cute. Coffee and cookies, yes. Sounds like a good sprint we all just had. Reading my Vampire Plus One, Jenna Levine, and babying a stiff neck. Oh, I'm so sorry. She won. She did win. Okay, so guys, you know what? It's just a typical Tuesday. There's nothing exciting except, oh, wait, Cara Bastone is here. I couldn't be more excited.
Hello,
Oh,
hello.
hello. I'm so thrilled that you're joining us this morning. Everyone has been telling me just how excited they are. One of my girls was like, sorry for the dogs. Ignore. Of course they're doing this now. But they said they woke up this morning. We're so excited about talking to you and just hearing you talk about your amazing work that they had trouble getting back to sleep. And I was like, "That is so dear, cute, and wonderful." So, oh my gosh, I'm just so happy you're here today. I'll let you say something.
Yes, hi. I'm so happy to be here. How's the audio? I have headphones I could plug in if
You
it.
sound perfect.
Okay, great. All right,
Perfect.
wonderful. I'm thrilled to be here. And I too woke up, I don't know, 4 a.m. Maybe I was on the same wavelength as this
Yeah.
girl, of course. And I was like, oh, I'm so excited for all that today has to bring. And I get to meet B.
Oh, you're so dear. Oh my gosh, you just made my day. I love it so much. Happy release day, by the
Thank
way.
you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure you're getting people congratulating you left, right, and sideways on your latest incredible work. I'm just so thrilled. I finished it last night.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Oh my gosh. And it was everything I knew it would be and more. I have the pre-order. It's coming at some point today. Maybe that's
Oh,
why my dogs
yay.
were barking. It probably just got left on the doorstep. Wait, that's probably what it was. It was magical.
It was me. I brought it. I left it
Oh,
on
you
the
did.
doorstep and then jumped onto the live stream. So
You're so dear. You just think of everything, don't you? I knew it. I knew it. We've got so many people coming in and saying hello.
hi everyone. Hi.
Oh my
Wow, this is so cool. What an awesome interface.
Right? Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Yes, we do this, and it's like we're like a community. I say it all the time. They're sick of hearing me say it, but it's true. Best community in the world.
Oh, I love
Everyone is
that.
so encouraging, so supportive. I mean, it's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite. So, and part of the reason is because of you and your fabulous work, what your talents that you've put out. I just can't thank you enough. And I'm going to let you talk. I knew I was going to do this, where I was just going to be like, let me talk about how I feel about you because you're amazing and da da da. But I mean, I can't tell you how many comments I've gotten about people that say, I just love her work. She's just so incredible. So happy release day. Yeah.
Hi, Madeline. Hi, thank you. Thank you.
Well, let's get started. Let's talk about this incredible book. What would you like to share with us about your brand new book out today?
Well, I've been really so I hadn't read the finished copy until last week because it was, all I had was the advanced review copy and there's typos in that. And that is, for me, I loved so much hearing that people were reading my book. I really had to dissociate from the fact that they were reading my book with all the typos in it. I had to be like, okay, please still love me. Oh my God. But anyway, so I finally got the finished copy, 10 days ago or something. And so I read it last week and I was just so surprised to see myself in the book. So like when I wrote the book, you're crafting characters, you're telling this story. And I was like, yes, these characters are not me. And then lo and behold, I finally reread it in its finished form. And I saw so much of my own journey in there. And it genuinely was a surprise to me. I think because you kind of have to make it separate to make it authentic. That was, or I'm saying you, but I mean me, literally me. That's what I had to do to write the book. And
Yeah.
so it made this day feel even more special because I genuinely feel like I'm sharing more than any other book that I've written. I feel like I'm sharing me, myself, and I with
Mm.
the world and with readers and with you and with all the people that are messaging right now. It's a really humbling and lovely experience and a new one for me, even though I have put other books out. Like this feels really unique this day.
Truly, truly. Well, I love in the, acknowledgments how you said you're just thanking the reader because 'cause you're like, "You could be doing anything else, including" some of the examples you left were just so lovely. You're like, "You basically just experienced me talking to myself for such and such pages or something," and I thought,
Right, right.
"Oh, cool."
It's a 100,000 word conversation with myself, and readers let me do it in their own heads. So thank you very much. It's a huge and intimate honor, and I don't take it lightly. I really don't. And I'm a writer, yes, but first and foremost, I'm a reader, and I know what it feels like
Mhm.
to put other things in your life aside in order to make room to read a book. And it's no small thing. And yeah, I'm so honored that people do it for my books.
Ugh, I can't wait for everyone to get to enjoy this. It's so funny when I first heard about the summary, I may have said because a lot of this deals with grief and healing the trauma that our heroine goes through. And had I heard about this through just about any other author, because for me, I tend to prefer light and fluffy
Yeah.
for the most. It's like escapism. But when I knew you were writing it, I was like, okay, she's gonna take care of us. She's
Yes.
gonna take care of us. She's gonna make this journey, even though it is very hard in points. Our heroine goes through it, but the way that you bring her through it and Miles, we're gonna have to talk about Miles, the hero. Um, it's just so beautiful. And if you could indulge me for one moment. So this book, as well as Ready or Not, there's something, I hope you don't mind me drawing this parallel, but there's something about your writing. You remind me of a quote that I heard not too long ago. Whenever things in the media, when things get really rough, um, Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, "Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping." And
Wow.
when I read your work, especially these last 2 books, it brings me back to that because we have these hard things both in Ready or Not, this heroine who's going through a pregnancy on her own, so quote unquote, but not really. And then we have our heroine in, this book who also is dealing with so much grief, but we look to the helpers. We've got these incredible people in our lives, and I feel like it's your work is sort of the physical embodiment of that quote. I don't know. That's me talking
Oh,
to
thank you very much. That genuinely brings a tear to my eye. That's so meaningful to me. Let me take 1 second to gather myself and say, Mom, that's the oatmeal timer. What's going on? Sorry, my mom is here and then she
me
didn't hear
take
the
a
timer.
moment and say, "That is the oatmeal timer." We have layers of inside jokes on this
Yes.
show. That's gonna be another one that's gonna pop up from now on.
Yes. Yeah, I am an author. I'm also a family member, and both are happening to me right now.
Yes. Do you know and I'll make you feel better too, if that made you feel my daughter took a really long my daughter's 5, she just turned 5, she took a really long nap yesterday, and I told my husband, I'm like, if she's getting sick, I need you to stay home. I
Yeah.
am not in this interview." Like, I keep watching her while she's napping on the couch. I'm like, "This is
Yeah.
not normal.
Yep.
This is a bad time to get sick." Like,
100%. And that's when they get sick. I have a 5-year-old too. And I basically am like, okay, so my book release is coming up. I will have pink eye. I have to know that already.
yeah,
Accept it and move forward. I don't have pink eye, but I really was like, oh, I will.
I get that, man. Do I get it?
So to what you were saying was truly one of the most meaningful things a reader has ever said to me. So thank you very much. I so an access point to that for me is I grew up reading romance and in tandem reading poetry. And I loved so much more than anything the safety of a romance novel. I knew basically I just wasn't going to have to read about RAPE or murder or, things that in most media you do end up encountering, especially against women. So I knew I wasn't getting that in romance novels. I loved the safety of that.
Mhm.
Poetry, there were these uh, discoveries of humanity. You know, they were, this is what it means to be human. This is what it means for us all to be alive. There were wisdoms. There were these lightning strikes of enlightenment and connection. And, you know, I just, they both fed me in two very different ways. My dream with my books is to be able to provide those sorts of lightning strikes that I was finding in poetry in the very safe package of a romance novel. So, you know, women in particular can come to it and know and get the um, epiphanies of life and to
Yes.
not have to worry about murder.
Yes.
That is truly what I am trying to do. And so to say, like, to be a helper in that, I hadn't ever thought about it that way or put words to it like that. But I do think that is what I'm trying to do. I'd like people to have access to the nutrient dense world of discovery without having to risk their own personal safety and what they're consuming.
Mm, mm. Oh, that's so beautifully stated. Yes, truly. Well, that's why I said if I had seen this summary anywhere else, I would have been like hard pass.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's gonna write it. I mean, that's one of my favorite types of books where you come away from it with a new lease on life. You feel like a better person, or you just have a, and again, with this one especially, I loved the ending, I'm not gonna say, but, it just, you just put a smile on your face. It just, you put the book down and you look around and you feel like you're kind of seeing your life with this, with fresh eyes.
Oh my God. Well, best compliment ever. That is, but
Well,
yeah, that's how I felt when I was writing it. So to know that that translated is really, really fulfilling to me.
mhm, mhm. And, I love your website just to and I'm gonna pop over here. As my audience is aware, I can't do it without talking about it. I'm like, "And I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna share the thing," and then okay, so because I told them someday I will be that person, but it's not today.
Yeah.
Not
It
today.
doesn't need to be any day. I mean, bring us there. Bring us there however you'd like. I'm in for the ride.
There we are, thank heavens. So, yes, we have your website here, and I mean, I remember seeing this years ago, this quote, "In love with everyday love." There's something so magical about it. And, I just wanna again, I wanna compliment you also on, okay, let me remove that. There you see, I can't do it without talking about it.
Yeah.
One thing we've talked, so romance, open door, spice, something people talk about constantly. And something I also wanna compliment you on, and something that many of my, audience, like, we get hung up on, like, "Did we like that? Did we not? Did it jive with the
Yeah.
book?" We've talked about this recently, um, that there are contemporary romance authors specifically who we really enjoy, but once you get to the spice, it's almost like the part of Matt will be played by Cheeks
Right.
McGee, or like like, what is happening? Like, where did I just where am I? Like, it's a
Yeah. Yeah.
completely different vibe from the rest of the book. And, there's something that I love so much about your spice in that, as we wanna call it that, for lack of a better term. I don't feel like that's a good, phrasing, but I love how they're still themselves. And there's this intimacy, but fun, and it's quirky and real, and I just love that. I
Yeah.
just love that, and I hope you don't mind me bringing it up, but it's something that often does come up about authors, like, what is it like? If they're writing romance, what is that aspect of the book like? So I just wanted to address
Yes.
that.
Thank you for asking about it because I do feel like I often don't get asked about it because I think it's about spice. And so people are like, well, maybe that's something we do alone and not in public. So, but I do, and obviously I can write it. So I enjoy talking about it.
Sure, sure.
Um, so yes, so it is very important to me that it is a unique to the book. Is it okay to say sex scene?
Yes.
Sex scene? Yeah, okay,
Yes.
okay. And not everybody is comfortable with the same words. So
Sure, 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 sure.
yeah. And is unique to the two characters. Very similar to how it's important to me to show two people falling in love in a way that genuinely feels like two people falling in love, or like you can buy it. You're like, yes, I believe that these two people are falling in love. I
Mhm.
want it to seem like a genuine sex scene between two people. And so yes, obviously you're transported, but you're transported in a vehicle you already own. You're not, you're not suddenly in a rocket ship when you drive a Jeep. You drive a Jeep, so
Right.
drive the Jeep to the place, right?
The tone is all different now. Yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. And I also, I don't know exactly what the demographics are of people who read my books. I read a lot of romance when I was quite young, and, I always appreciated a sex scene that had jokes in it, or acknowledged many different types of intimacy that you can have with someone. It's not just horny intimacy.
Right. Yeah.
And those were the lessons I took with me, and those are the things that have been the most helpful to me in my life. And so when I'm writing these, I do generally, um not imagine, that's the wrong word. I am trying to send these out to a younger reader who
Mhm.
might have different expectations of what to expect from a moment like that with someone because of the media, or because of the way sex is represented in the world. And I would just like to be one little voice that's like, also, you can freak out in the middle of sex and make a bunch of jokes and then stop having sex, and then that's totally fine. Like that, it turns out that's a really wonderful way to do it, right? And
Right.
so that's my main that's always like my main goal with that. And I don't know, they're not difficult for me to write, for better or worse. It probably tells you a lot about my personality, but yeah.
Well, one thing I love about your work and your personality is just how funny you are and how funny this book is. I'm going to keep showing it just to make sure everybody knows what I'm referencing here.
Thank you.
But yes, I mean the humor is just fantastic, and I highlighted so many things in my Kindle, and there's moments I don't want to give a thing away, but towards the end, something with Miles and his niece that happens. It's kind of a big moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. You're like, "What is she talking about?" I'm sorry, I'm gonna try not to do that. But yes, the humor is chef's kiss. I love it. I love it so much.
Well, I knew that, speaking of vehicles and how you get someplace, I wrote this book about grief, obviously. I
Mhm.
wrote this book also for people who are currently experiencing it, people who have experienced it, people who are the Lenny in this equation, people who are the Miles in the equation. And I knew that, a spoonful of sugar, right? Like I knew that in order for the hard won lessons I've learned over my life, in order to be able to pass those on, I just knew that this book had to be funny. And it wasn't a goal, it just was like happening because of who Lenny is, and who I am. But I understood that in order for it to accurately capture what life has on offer, it couldn't be one note. It had to be as many possible notes while still
Mm.
being true to itself as I could possibly contain in there. And yeah, so humor and grief, there's dark humor is one of the most popular types of humor for a reason. It's because
Yeah.
people need it. And so
Yeah.
that's why I went down that road, or that's why it felt right to go down that road.
Mm.
An easy road to go down. I was on a sled on that one, and I did have there were moments when my editor would take out a joke or two and be like, "All right, so let's sit in the other side of what this story has to offer for a second." Or
Mm.
she would rearrange scenes to be like, let's get a funny scene in there now, or something like that. So those things certainly happened. It wasn't pitch perfect from draft one, but that's what it felt like to write it, was that if I was too sad when writing parts of it, I was like, all right, let's get some jokes in here, because it's
Yeah.
my life too, right? Like I have to be able to be okay after writing this book. And it was
Yeah.
my lifeline, was the humor.
Mm. I love it. I love it. We've got some comments here. I can't hold them back anymore. They're so great. Abby Jean says, "You're one of my favorite authors. Such a pleasure to have you today."
Thank you so much, Abby Jean.
She was saying one of your points was beautiful, so important. And Madeline says, "I read Ready or Not shortly after my papa died, and it brought me so much joy to be able to step out of that sadness for a little while. So I feel like this one truly comes at a helpful time."
Thank you so much. That is truly like the most meaningful thing that a reader can say is that it helped them in a rough time. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's and this will help so many people. And I keep getting into the weeds about everything I love about it, just to kind of give a general synopsis of what this is. Well, do you want to do it rather than me talk again? Do you want to
Oh,
just
a general synopsis of the book?
yeah, like what is
Well, if you would do it, that would be amazing, actually, because that's the
absolutely.
scariest thing for an author to do is give a
Okay.
synopsis.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure you aren't going to your mom later like, "Mom, she would not stop talking."
Oh no, we'll be so full of oatmeal at that point. We
Yeah,
won't have
all
anything
that
else
oat
to
I mean,
talk about. Yeah.
depending on that timer, she got it at the right time, so you're gonna be so that's gonna help for sure. Um, yeah, this is a book about a gal named Lenny, and she has recently lost her I say recently, months prior, she's lost the love of her life, best friend, to ovarian cancer, and Lenny doesn't know how to pick up and move on, and she's just sort of existing, moving from point A to point B, but really not able to handle her grief well at all. And she goes to a babysitting gig and meets a very kind of an enigma of a man. She's not sure about him. His name is Miles, and he sort of recognizes some things in her and decides that he's going to help her. I don't want to give any more away. I don't know. But I mean, it starts this beautiful friendship that involves lots of tough moments, but beautiful moments too. So many things to laugh out loud about, and things that you're going to walk away from this book just feeling like you found some joy as well. Give you a fresh perspective, as I mentioned. But yeah, Lenny is a hoot and a half. I love can you tell us about one of the things that she does is when she meets a man, she'll just fall in love immediately and come up with this beautiful backstory. Is that you mentioned that she's a bit like you. Is that something that you do? I have to
Oh,
ask.
totally. And honestly, when I was writing this, my editor was like, "So why do you think she does that?" And I was like, "Oh, right, because most people just because people don't do that, right? Totally." You know?
Ah,
It's one of those things that's very funny to me because I have always done that. Uh, and I've totally thought that, when I was meeting my husband and falling in love and then getting married and all that, I thought, okay, well, it'll stop now. No. And it's because it has no bearing on reality at all. It's like, it's literally not about romance. It's like just a healthy
right.
imagination and fantasy life.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I'm a romance author, so it makes sense that that's the format it would take. Right. Um,
Right.
but
Right.
since writing this book, I've talked to so many people that are like, I do the exact same thing. And so I think, the romance lovers in us all kind of, um, take little field trips in our mind. And my husband knows I do this and does not have any issue with it whatsoever. It's like, yeah, what do I care? Go have fun.
Yes. Elizabeth says, I loved Lenny's imagination because honestly, she's so real for that.
This is what I'm saying, right? Like you and me, Elizabeth, we get this. We're
We
getting this
get it.
together.
Get it. We get it. It's just so fun. Just so
Yeah.
fun. To jump, may I talk a little bit about some of your other work?
Of
I
course,
mean,
yeah.
I just want to make sure that you were like, I wanted to talk more about Promise Me
No,
Sunshine.
let's do it.
Okay. Another one that I just finished the other day, finally. I was late to the party. Um, Maybe this time.
Oh, cool.
Do you just get comments? Okay. No, I don't wanna ask. Well, all right, let me just say this. Do you
Yeah.
often get comments about this one? People, especially recently, "This is so different for you, but so fun."
Yes, I do. I do, but I would say, I mean, Promise Me Sunshine has kind of like been the storm that's washed everything else away. And so I much more rarely get comments about this one now. But right when it first came out, I got a lot of comments about it. Um, a lot of sticklers for science have come at me for this. which and by sticklers for science, I mean people who understand science.
Well, I didn't, so it worked for me. I was like,
Right.
"Sure,
So
that sounds real."
this is like a time slip story. So there is like some like kind of light time travel in it, and it has to do with like solar flares and stuff like that. And when I was writing those parts of it, for me, I'm like, it's basically all just a metaphor for what it means to fall in love with someone and to bring your past self and your future self and your present self and how it all combines and how to meet someone with vulnerability, blah, blah, blah. That's me as the romance writer. My editor was like, okay, but the science. And I was like, I think what I'm going to do is just have one character who ostensibly understands the science. And but he's just the whole time like, there's no time to explain it. Just accept it. And
Brilliant, brilliant.
that's it. I think that's what I can handle because I'm not gonna like be on Reddit trying to figure out how a wormhole actually works. Like that's not how my life goes. So that's how we ended up here.
I enjoyed it so much. I actually gave it 6 stars, and, I put you can do that. You can do a 6 yes, you can. But I had my AirPods in, and I wasn't anticipating the sound quality.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, good night. Does Amazon just love you so much? Do they just send you cards in the mail all the I mean, they're just with all of your Audible originals,
Yeah.
so
Um,
fun.
I don't know if I think no, they don't send me anything. They should. Hello, if you're listening, you should.
They
Um, uh, but I have the honor of working with the same sound design team. So this is, let's see, maybe this time was the fifth that I had done with full sound design, and
yes.
I have the honor of working with the same team over and over again, and they are the best team you can get. And I'm not just saying that because they're my buds. Like they are brilliant. There was a scene in the very first one I wrote where one of the characters has a cat that when it meows, it makes a sound. It sounds like the word Romeo.
Is
And
this
this is it. Yep. And the sound designer followed his own cat around with a microphone until he could get something passable that he could then modify to make it sound like that. Like you can't buy that. You can't buy that.
No.
That's just passion, right? And so I've lucked into a very passionate team. Um, and they've all been so fun to write, and they're much more like a play or like an audio play than a novel. And so writing with audio in mind is a different homework assignment, and it's always really fun, and it's flexed my dialogue skills like what? Like my dialogue
Mm.
muscles are so strong because I'm writing like 50,000 words of only dialogue. Like that's very hard to make two people talk for that long.
I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. Oh my gosh. That's my first experience with you was the thing that Tara is talking about right now, Seatmate,
Yes,
which
I
is
love Seatmate.
oh my gosh. All 3 of the Loveline series, Abby Jeans will say, "Your Audible originals are the best. I love them
Oh,
all so
thank
much."
you so much.
Truly, truly. I mean, these were a party. I just from the moment you start, you just feel like you're part of that world. I have to ask, and you don't have to answer because I know you can't always choose favorites, but do you have a favorite audio? Or you don't have to,
No, I'll try. I really will try. Okay, I'll say one thing that's gonna sound like promo, but it's genuinely not. I actually haven't even heard it yet, but next one in the Solar Flare series is called it's called Better Luck Next Time. It's coming out, and it stars a musician, and I got to write the lyrics to original songs that my sound design team then composed and included. So I literally haven't heard them yet, but that experience was my favorite writing experience that I had in all of these. Um, but for my favorite book, okay, Call Me Maybe I loved because it I just thought it was such a great meet cute, like falling in love with someone when you're on, like a customer call like that. I just loved that meet cute. Sweet Talk was extremely fun because a lot of it is through texting. And so I got to like channel like maybe like the most electric flirtation in the
Yes.
21st century through texting. And then Seatmate, I loved because that was the 4th time I tried to write that book. 3 other full drafts of like different books just got thrown out because it was not working. And then I was listening back again to Sweet Talk to be like, what worked about this book? And I realized looking at the timestamp of the whole thing, I was like, okay, so the length of the book is, I guess, about the length of the time it takes to take the bus from New York to Boston, which I've done like 1,000 times in my life. And then it was just like, oh, well, they should be on the bus from New York to Boston. And so that's the only thing I've ever written that's in real time.
Real time.
Yeah, it's in real time. So that for me was like a writer accomplishment. I was like, okay, I've crossed something off my writer bucket list to be able to do that. So I didn't answer your question at all, but
No, you
I love
did.
them all.
No, that was actually the perfect answer. I like that. Yeah, that's kind of what you have to say. But yeah, I could have said like, "What do you love about each of these?" That it couldn't have been better. So
And for
thank you.
maybe this time, I have to say that might be my favorite performance of all time. Like Noah Reid and Zoe Chow, like their chemistry together. Oh my God. I got to watch part of it. I got to like zoom in and I watched it literally like this. I was like I had to cover my face because the chemistry was just too good. And the actors were just, I loved the end result of that book so much.
There's quite a few promos for it on YouTube, and after I listened to maybe this time, yes, I might have to link them. But it's the two of the actors together, and they're doing all kinds of funny things like various meet cutes, acting them out together. It's precious,
That's awesome. I have
right?
very little knowledge of that, but that's
Yeah,
super cool. I love to
yeah,
hear that. And they should be promoted for it because they really like they hit on something special. The casting for that was so
yes,
good and then their
yes.
skills were just really special.
I had no idea that Noah Reid was who Noah Reid was until
Right.
after.
I know.
Did you watch Schitt's Creek?
Well,
Or
I did in afterward.
you
When they
did?
were like, we think we can get Noah Reid. And so I was like, okay, let me check it out and was like, okay, yes.
How perfect. And the other one, I haven't heard as many people talk about this one. This might be like the hidden gem, if
Yeah.
you will. This was not in real time exactly, right? No, because this is over, but it's a short span of time.
Yeah, so I would say every actual interaction is real time, but then time passes in between the interactions, if that makes sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And for this one, you had Santino Fontana,
Yeah, yeah.
who is your 5-year-old a boy or a girl? Just out of curiosity.
A boy. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe still. I don't know if your house is like
Well,
mine, but it's all about Frozen.
yes, all
So
about
maybe
Frozen, and their minds were blown, and it was also like this kind of thing because 'cause they're like, "But he's the bad guy, but he's the bad guy," like because he's the bad guy in Frozen, so I had to be like, "But again, he's an actor, so he's a good person," but you know?
yes. Oh my gosh, yes. And it's funny, again, I didn't know who that was. And listening to this, and again, my 5-year-old daughter is obsessed with Frozen. I mean, she pretends to be one or the other of the princesses all the
Yes,
time.
yes.
And yeah, hearing his voice, I'm like, where do I know this
I know it
voice?
from somewhere, right, yep, yep, yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. So, okay. Oh, we're just having the best time. I'm so grateful that you came on. Truly. I'm not ending this. I'm just reflecting as we're going. Um, what made you want to be an author?
You know, I think I was born that way. I never had well, I didn't think I could be for a long time. I thought that was not possible for most people. I think I had sort of a weirdly like realistic view of it. And so I did something very unrealistic, which was to study econ. I was like, yeah, that'll get me a job. No, that was not the case. I was like, no, I'm not going to get a job in that, and it makes me unhappy. So why don't I pursue something that makes me happy? So I switched to studying creative writing. But then I just moved to New York, thinking that's where the writers go. And I involved myself in a lot of different writing communities, a lot of poetry communities, and had day jobs and was writing in the meantime. But the question is what made me want to be an author? I mean, reading, reading. Like there's been no other single thing in my life that has defined me and my personality more than the books I've read, and the actual act of reading. Like I do want to grow with every book I read. I want to be able to take something from it, but also literally just like in the whatever happens to your brain when you're reading, when you're in the reading
Yeah.
space. I love that feeling. I want to be there all the time. And
Yeah.
I think as I was reading, a lot of times I just thought, I wonder, or like sometimes I'd be like, oh, that wasn't right. I wonder what I would have done, or something like that. Or, oh, that was perfect. How did they do that? That sort of thing. And reading and writing became very hand in hand for me, even though I wasn't always literally putting the words down on the page. I was doing the other bigger part of writing, which is the imagination component of it.
Mm. Oh, I love that. Now, as a reader, who are your greatest influences?
Well, I was huge into Madeline L'Engle,
Yeah.
growing up, and I mean, her books are not, romance with a capital R, but she has some really great swoony love lines through her books. Um, Judy Blume, my god, the GOAT.
I had a feeling you were gonna say Judy Blume. I love it. I love it. Oh.
I loved Nora Roberts. I mean, and that was so ubiquitous. It was like you could go into like any 90s mom's bathroom and pick up a Nora Roberts novel. Like it was everywhere. um,
Really?
Bev Jenkins, like I just don't think you can get better than Beverly Jenkins. These are
Mhm.
these are for like influences for kind of romantic threads, but I also read a lot of other things. I just read like the best Shirley Jackson novel, spooky, called Haunting of Hill House, and I mean, I'm very heavily influenced by whoever I've just read for sure, but I
Mm.
would say probably Madeline L'Engle if I'm guessing who my greatest influence of all time, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that my mom was reading Madeline L'Engle to me when I was 6 years old or something like that. A very seminal time in your life. So, yeah.
I still have the copy of Many Waters.
Yes.
I mean, I kept my original copy. I,
Yes.
I ate up everything she wrote. I haven't
Yes.
heard anybody mention her in ages. I love
Well,
that.
she's so confidently weird too.
Yeah.
I loved that. She's like,
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
is this romance? Is this sci-fi? Will this haunt you? I don't care. I'm writing it. Like it's such a sure and steady hand. I just always like I admire that so much. Knew she either knew or she didn't know what she was about to write, but I can't imagine she was thinking about being edited while she was writing it. I think she was
Mm.
like, here's the story. And that is such a gorgeous and effortless way to write a book. I just love it. I aspire.
Yeah. I love that. We've got some great comments here. I've never listened to your Audible originals, but I remember reading Just a Heartbeat Away right in the thick of COVID, and I loved it so much. It was such a breath of fresh air during a terrible time. I tell you. Well, we haven't even talked about that series yet. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
I mean, that's another I mean, I enjoyed that so much, the Forever Yours series. Tell us a little bit about that. Now that was that your journey into first being published? How did that
Yeah.
go?
So thank you for bringing up that book, Elizabeth. Those books are out of print now. And so whenever anyone brings them up, I'm just like, thank you for keeping the flame alive for me. I just love it so much. So that book in particular, Just a Heartbeat Away. Okay, so I was a ghostwriter for like 5 years before, I think 5 years, before I got published with the Forever Yours series. And Just a Heartbeat Away was the first thing I wrote that I was just like, oh, but I can't sell it. Like, I just can't sell this for a flat fee. It just like hurt my heart to think about putting a price on it, which of course you put a price on it when you sign a contract with the publisher too, but that it just karmically it felt different to do that than to
Yeah.
sell it to someone and to someone else. And so well, I had only written, I think, the first like 3 chapters or something at that point when I was already in love with the story and in love with the characters and didn't want to sell it. And so I was like, all right, if I'm not going to sell it as a ghostwriter, I still need to, put food on the table. So I
Yeah.
have to figure out how to sell it for myself. And so I went to the New Jersey Romance Writers Conference, and I met with a woman named Jess Verdi, who then bought it and became my editor there at Crimson Romance. So, anyways, she's like, I love the premise. And I had the first 3 chapters there for her. She's like, great. Okay. Is the book done? And I was like, yes, the book is done. But it was just like so not done. And so she was like, okay, send it to me in the next 3 weeks, the full thing. I was
Oh,
like, great. That'll be easy because it's done. So wonderful. And then I like ran home and spent the next 3 weeks absolutely tearing through this
oh
manuscript,
my
like calling in
God.
sick to my day job. Like I just was like, this is my one shot, right? I've got to show up. And so I sent it to her, and that's when she bought it. And then Simon and Schuster folded Crimson like 2 months later. So that was done. It wasn't going to come out. But the head editor of Crimson is my now agent. And she said, hey, do you want to run away with me into the sunset? And I said, absolutely. And we've been together ever since. And less than a year later, I was with Harlequin because of her, because she is the best champion of all time.
Oh,
And also because of that, the book came out during COVID. And for me, it was a weird time in the publishing industry. It was a weird time to put a book into the world. But
mm.
I was like, just in my heart of hearts, exactly what Elizabeth was just saying. I was like, let's send out love in the form of romance novels to somebody who needs it out there. Like, this is the worst time ever. Let's read some romance novels together and get through it. So it felt like it was exactly as it was supposed to be, I think.
Yes.
in
Yes.
retrospect.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I had no idea that these were out of print, though. Oh my
Yeah,
heck.
yeah. Yeah, you can still get them, e-books and
Mhm.
audio books, but yeah, you can't get a paperback anymore. Well, I think you might be able to, because I think they're still selling out like their final stock,
Oh,
but
okay.
whenever that's gone, it's not there. There aren't anymore. So if you own it, it's a collector's edition now.
Oh my gosh, I have them all. I'm so excited. Yeah, you know that there's gonna be people today,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're gonna be shopping right now. They're gonna be shopping right now. Okay, so let's talk about the character in all of your books, although
Yes.
watch me be wrong now, and you'll be like, "No, they're not." But I feel like it is. New York City, let's talk about that. Is
Yes.
is that are all of your books set in New York City?
The only one that's not set in New York City or doesn't have New Yorkers in it is Love at First Sight, and that's because it's like set in absolutely nameless college town.
Okay.
Capital C, capital T, college town. I
Of
was like,
course,
please don't let readers wonder where this is. Like, hopefully it's so immersive they just won't care.
I just envisioned New York.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's great. That's wonderful.
Oh,
Um,
goodness.
yeah, no, but it's everywhere. I can't, it's just outside my window. I can't escape it and never shall.
I love it so much. When you said you moved to New York, I just envisioned you having been in New York City from the day you were born, like,
Right. Yeah, well, thank you.
in your blood.
No, I'm a Midwesterner. I'm originally from Michigan, which is such a special place in my heart, Ann Arbor, Michigan. And actually, I'm doing my first author tour stop in Ann Arbor this coming month, and so
Oh,
I'm really really excited about that. It's a really cool return to my hometown.
yeah.
But no, I feel like I'm at least getting close to being a New Yorker. I don't know how long you have to live here to be a New Yorker, but this was I must have lived here in another life or something. It really is my home in all senses of the word.
Do you feel like, and this is not me saying that you need to do this, because I adore being in New York City via your books.
Yeah.
You ever think about writing in a different setting? Or do you just really love it?
Yeah, well, I think for the Forever Yours series, it was like write what you know, set it where you live.
Mm,
So that was why I did that, and they're so connected to each other that it was, like, not they all had to be in the same neighborhood,
yes,
basically.
exactly, yeah.
Um, for the all the Audible originals, I guess it just happened. I'm not sure exactly. And then for Ready or Not and Promise Me Sunshine, which are, very lightly related to one another and they're in the same universe, they're both such personal experiences of things that, they're not, the books are not about me, and I'm not either of any of the characters in these books, but the experiences are from my life, a lot of them. I would say not the experiences, the epiphanies are largely from my life. And they happened in New York City because
Wow.
that's where I've spent my entire adult life.
Yes.
Um, so it in a way, it would have felt disingenuous to set them someplace else. Um, I also am very tuned in to if I think my spidey senses are strong for if an author is setting a book someplace they haven't spent a lot of time. So if I
Mm.
can even get like a whiff of that, I'm like, should have moved there for 6 months. Should have done it for the book. You would have gotten some couple different details in there or something. And this is total bullshit. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I just think that
Oh, no.
the creative flow of New York, I'm very plugged in because I live here. And so when, and you're right, like the city's a character, like so many things happen to these characters because they're interacting with New York. And it just feels genuine that I can bring that to the book because I live here.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I read something said, and I wanna say Connecticut, and the author was talking about she had the character had a baby, referring to baby accoutrement, like the pram and nappies, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"You're not
yeah.
from Connecticut." Like, I don't know why this is said in
Yeah,
Connecticut.
yeah.
You're not from there. You
Yeah.
know, it's just too funny. Oh, we've got some, commonalities here. You've got A2.
Oh, so cool. Wow, Ann Arbor, I love it.
I love it. That's so cool to hear. I'm originally from Michigan and live in
So
New York
cool.
now. Fun.
A lot of Michigan transplants plants in New York, yeah.
There oh,
Yes, I will
really?
be there. Let's see,
Oh.
March 19th, Wednesday, I'll be there at Literati if you wanna come.
Oh, exciting, exciting. Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, and just tell so on the tour, where can we find this tour? Is it on do you have it listed on Instagram, your website, or
Oh, that is a great idea. I will.
we want to if you're in our area, we'd love to come see
Yes,
you.
okay, so it's kind of scattershot on Instagram. It is the 17th, 18th, and 19th of March. I'll be in Indianapolis, Minneapolis, and Ann Arbor on those 3 nights. I will put something up on my website so you can follow me. I'm in Brooklyn, and I'll be at the Ripped Bodice tomorrow night is my book release party. So if you're in New York, buy a ticket and come through.
So fun. So you have you been to the Ripped Bodice yet in New
I
York?
love it.
We
It's a
have.
happy place. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't been. I live like 8 hours south of New York
Okay.
City, but, oh man, I love whenever ever anyone I go anyone what? Where are the words? I don't know what's happening. The words just became hard for some reason. Anyone I know, when they go there, I love seeing the pictures. Oh, it's just
Oh,
the
it's gorgeous. It is a photo op, and it's like got this like magical lighting. You walk in and you're like 5 times hotter. It's like made for selfies. It's so
Hey!
good. I highly recommend everything about it.
I need to go to there. I love that. I love it. So, what resonates most with your audience, would you say? When they come to you,
Yeah.
what do they so most often talk about?
Um, well, I will say the comments I get a lot are normally I hate unexpected pregnancy trope, and normally I hate books about grief. But I liked your books. So something about that, I think, where it's like, I think maybe what you're talking about, like the helper, like
Yeah.
So both Ready or Not with Unexpected Pregnancy and Promise Me Sunshine with Grief,
Yeah.
neither of them did I start out with the trope and then decide to write that trope. I started out with the characters and then figured out like what they were going through. And so I think there's sort of a like a parallel parking sort of vibe into the trope itself, you know? So maybe that is they're not they don't have the same, I don't want to say pitfalls, like the things that people don't like about those tropes, I think they're I tried to bring more like a more realistic version of those life experiences or something. I don't know.
Absolutely.
This isn't coming out well.
Well, I
I'm
tried that,
trying.
so I'm like, where are those words that I wanted to say? Yeah. No, it's so funny. I mean, I will say when I requested this arc too, and then when I with of course, because again, Cara Bastone. So I'm like, request, and then I was like, secret baby. Oh no.
I
And then
know, right. Oh, terrible. This is gonna be the worst.
but then I read it and I was like, I should never have doubted. This is
Yeah.
just, I mean, and Shep Balder, I mean, you remember earlier this year he won the award,
Oh, yeah.
fake award for best. And I have to tell you too, this is again just being silly for my channel, but we did a best book boyfriend bracket back for Valentine's Day, and Shep got very far. He was,
Oh, I love
I
it.
mean, he's probably my favorite hero just ever of all the books I've ever read. I mean, you must get people talking to you all the time about Shep.
I do, definitely. I wrote Shep because I was writing him like right at the very tail end of like alpha fever, when like you couldn't you couldn't open a book without like some just absolute dickhead telling somebody what to do. And I just was like so sick of it. I love, a lot of it's like candy. It's really fun. I do
Yeah,
definitely also feel that
sure.
way. But
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
love like, okay, just to be a contrarian, exactly how beta could I make a character and still have him be super hot? And I went really far with him. I think he's very beta. I mean, I've said this before, but like, what's the most beta thing you could possibly do? Raise somebody else's kid very happily. So there he goes. There he goes. Yeah. Love
Oh, I just adore it. I mean, the he's like steps on her feet at one point. His hair is sticking up all askew, and I'm just like, he's so darling.
I know, but yeah, non-threatening. This is the thing. Like there's no element of fear you have to get over to love him. It's just play there.
Just, I tell you. So I asked you this, and I said this in advance. Who is your favorite heroine? Now, this could be from your own books, from any book you've read, or both. Just kind of make it your own. But I
Okay.
would love to know.
This will shock literally no one, but Elizabeth Bennet. I mean,
Oh,
yeah. I,
yes.
I just think that she's like maybe the greatest heroine of all time. I
Mhm.
also Middlemarch is like one of my favorite books of all time. It's just it's so good. If you haven't read it, carve out the next 9 months and just get through it. It's very long.
Oh
But
boy.
you will love it. And there's a main character in that book, Dorothea, and I have such a soft spot for her. Um,
Mhm.
those are probably my two favorite of all time. But of my own, it's probably Lenny. It's probably Lenny from Promise Me Sunshine. I mean, she's in so much pain that I think you just gotta love her. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, she's just so creative too, and she's so fun, and the way that she interacts with Miles. I was laughing out loud so many times, like, when she's, like, flirting with him, and he's
Yeah.
like, "I never take you seriously."
Yeah, exactly. Like, I would really like to spend some time flirting with Lenny. I think it would be, like, a very fulfilling experience, honestly.
I agree, I mean, same here. I adore Lenny. I mean, for all of her many, many oniony layers.
Yes, yes.
She's just such a beautifully fleshed out character, and, yeah, so easy. Oh, the OG also,
Yes,
which is a yes. Mhm.
yes, ensemble romance, slice of life. We love to see it. It's so good.
Fun! Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Now let's talk book boyfriends.
Oh.
I gotta know.
Oh. My
Oh, I'm
God.
excited.
Okay, so high school book boyfriend would be like kind of any of the like Nora Roberts rangy,
Yeah.
dark-haired, green-eyed. I mean, that's all she wrote for like 12 years or something. So any of them. Um,
You were conditioned.
yeah, exactly. I'm looking at my bookshelf right now. This is such a good and interesting question.
I mean, as
Um,
a romance booktuber, I think I'm legally required to ask.
yes, yes, exactly. I just read, and this is terrible because I can't remember his name, but I just read The Other Side of Disappearing by Kate Claiborne. And
Oh.
I loved this book so much. And it is a very kind of unexpectedly beta, very supportive in his feels man. I
Mm.
highly recommend this book if you haven't taken a
Ooh.
chance on it yet, but it's so
Oh,
good. Yeah, I'd say with
I love
him, whatever his name is, love him.
good old what's his name? I'll never forget him. I love it, I love it. Oh my gosh. Now, what is your writing process like? Where? When?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right here at this desk that you can't see because you're sitting on it. But it is generally from the hours of 5 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. My
Mm.
children wake up at 6:30 and are sort of in and out. My husband and I, he's also a writer and writes during that time too. So we have gotten into the habit of we leave their milks in the fridge and little bowls of Cheerios on the kitchen table so they can have their pre-breakfast snack. they,
Oh.
they parade out and give us hugs, and then they go back and well, actually, we just found out that what they do is, and this is just awful, is they instead of eating the Cheerios out of the bowls, they dump the both bowls into my 5-year-old's bed and then eat from there. Because I was like, "What's going on here? Why is this bed so crunchy?" And that's why. It's because I'm a writer. That's why. That's my punishment.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable. Oh, I love it. And so just in the morning then, that's when you do your core writing?
Yeah, also, after the kids go to bed at night, there's something very kind of mystical and romantic about the early morning hours and the late night hours. Daytime is like very
Mm,
much reserved for errands and like
yeah.
child rearing for me. I'm not sure that's when the magic is gone. But I can edit during the day. I can't generative writing is, I guess, sunrise and sunset hours for
Mm.
me.
I love that. We have a comment, this might help you. Is the gentleman's name you were referring to earlier Tegan?
Sure. Yeah. Love that for
We're gonna
him.
go with that. We're gonna go Also, I skipped this one, it was too funny, I have to come back. Running to Amazon when you were mentioning that,
Oh,
you
yes.
remember your series. I didn't wanna skip that, Abby Jean.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Abby Jean, for my
I
single
love
sale in that book this month. I will know it's you. I'll shout you out when I get the royalties report.
There you go. There you go. What would you say are the pros and cons of being an author?
The cons of being an author are the cons of being any artist or freelance worker. It's just a roller coaster, and you can't, plan a lot of your life, and you don't know how your book is gonna sell, and you don't it's, the pros of that, though, are I think I take my mental health and my health very seriously because you can't phone it in. There is no going to work when you're sick. Like, I mean, obviously there is because you have deadlines and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
um I have to take care of myself in order to be an author. And so that's the biggest pro, I think, of it for my everyday life. Um, the other, just, I can't even believe that I get to be talking to you right now and interacting with readers and comments. And I get to go on a tour this month. Every day I've got people in my DMs who are sharing themselves and their lives with me. It's just like, I'm would call myself an introvert. but I've been able to interact with people in this way that just works for me.
Mhm.
And I've
Mm.
been so fed. It's a very nutrient dense job for me. And yes, I'm so grateful for it.
I love that you said, "I'm so fed." That's so critical to
Yeah.
find things that feed us as opposed to just draining.
Yes. Yes.
Know you're really living a lucky life when you can experience that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that, I love that. Okay, update, this is hilarious. I can't remember either, but someone's name in that book is Tegan.
Okay. That's gotta be. That's got to be him, right?
You gotta
There
find out.
be why would there be why would we all remember that otherwise, right?
There you go. Oh my gosh, that's too I had to include it, was too funny. And Paige says she joined Abby Jean in the run to Amazon.
Thank you, Paige.
Now, you've kind of already answered this, but I just wanted to ask, and you can always just say, "I said it already." But
Okay.
what would you say, what makes a great story? I know we've kind of been talking about this the entire time because you write great stories. It's like, well, what makes a great story? But,
Yeah.
just I couldn't help but just flat out ask.
Okay, this is such a great question, and it's one that I've thought about a lot because there is one thing my books don't have, and that is plot. I my editor helps me a lot with plot. I
Mm.
usually present her like a huge steaming pile of like sexual tension and emotional epiphany, and then she's like, "Okay, cool. So what could they do?" um, but I just read this great book on writing by the great short story writer George Saunders, and one of the things he says is make your characters do something and then make it meaningful. And I think that that is honestly as easy as it, or the simplest, most distilled version of how to write a good
Yeah.
story. Because you're like, okay, they can do something, but then how does it be meaningful? That's the part. The meaningful part is the part I'm good at. The making them do something part is the part that my editor is good at. And so
It's
we work together. We work in tandem
yeah.
on that one. But in terms of, yeah, stories that I've read, I think it is also new perspectives on old things. I love that. I think that always makes a great
Mm.
story. When a character or when an author can make a revelation about something that I too have thought about and never thought about that way before, it almost doesn't matter what the characters are doing in the story. If I
Mm.
can get that, I'm like set. Everything was worth it then for me.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Now, you mentioned that your husband is also an author. Now, we don't have to talk about it, or if you don't want to, but do you bounce ideas off of one another? What types of things does he write? How does that
Yeah.
work?
So he is a poet and a short story writer, and an essayist, and a teacher. And he's just really brilliant. He's really, really good at writing and, I mean, existing. um, and yes, we fell in love in a writing workshop. And so we fell in love with each other's writing first and foremost. And
Oh,
we help each other all the time with
wow.
all sorts of writing. I often will say, like, we'll be both be quietly writing, and then I'll say a joke out loud. And then if he laughs, I'm like, all right, it's going in. Like, all right, got it. That sort of thing.
Oh.
And we help each other with all sorts of the different types of writing you have to do in your life. I'm like, oh, I have to write this email to so and so, and I'm so stressed, and this is what I have to say. And he's like, oh, I'll write it for you. Quickly writes it. And I'll do the same thing for him. It's like we're each other's ghostwriters for everything clerical you don't want to do.
I love that. Oh my gosh, we've got so many people are so charmed by your story with you and your husband. I love it.
Oh,
So
thank you.
I know. Adorable. Yes. Oh my gosh, that needs to be a book.
Yeah, right.
Oh my heavens. Well, where can we look for you? Where should we be looking for you?
Yeah, okay, so thank you for asking this because yes, you can find me on Instagram. That's where I'm super active there, or I think so. I think I don't know. I don't know how you compare that. I'm there almost every day,
Yeah.
for at least a little bit. At Cara Bastone. Just my name is the handle. But Instagram is scary. The internet is scary, and who knows what it's going to be like in a couple of months. So please, 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 if you want to stay in touch with me, join my newsletter. I write short form essay there. Everything I'm thinking about romance. I'm much more candid there than I am online. And you can find that on my website, carabastone.com. Just go to the newsletter thing and put your email in. And actually, you guys, okay, if you join in the next like 2 hours, then you'll get the one I wrote for today, which is all about Promise Me Sunshine and my process of getting there. And it's something I never share. Anything I share in my newsletter, I don't share anywhere else. It's just for the people who I'm so grateful are letting me go into their inboxes, maybe twice a month, sometimes 3 times a month. And I'm not spamming you. It's literally like from my heart to yours, things I'm thinking about, and then a little piece of writing. So please join my newsletter. If you have any inclination, I would be so grateful.
I love it. We've just been running here and there the whole time. We're doing Amazon. We're doing the news.
Yeah. Run right now.
So many things to do. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I have to thank you so much for this morning.
This was wonderful.
I've been looking forward to this just forever. I know I speak for us all when we just thank you for your incredible work and the wonderful human that you are, and for sharing your talents with us and your morning.
Me too. And you know what? I'd only knew you by your handle for a while, and you have been there from the beginning. You've really been there from the beginning. And even if you had just been like, this will only be live streaming to me and my grandma, I would have been like, I am there. Let's do it, B. Like
me and my grandma.
Yeah. I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful for the space, and thank you. I thank you so much to anyone who was here. Like, my God, what a joy.
Yeah. Oh, you're just amazing. And everybody's now like, oh yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go. But this is my mic drop moment. Like I've talked to Cara Bastone. So lovely.
All right. Thank you so much for being with me on my release day.
Yes. Thank you. And have a great rest of your release day. Enjoy the party tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So exciting. Yep. So exciting. All right. Well, you take care, and we will be looking for you. We'll be reading, and we'll be catching up later.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye.